My name is Ashish Gupta. I have been working in higher education for last 13 years now. As a privilege, I always tell that one of the privilege I have is that I was born in North India. I did my education in Central India. Went again back to Delhi to work with OP Jindal and then came to Bangalore to work with RV University, having traveled pan-India and multiple countries. I have got a lot of exposure to see the geography, meet people, understand culture, and how exactly we are interconnected. And that exactly is what happens when we talk about liberal education. Liberal education in simple language is all about interconnectivity. Today's kid is not limited to one profession. Whenever I talk to people, I give an example that is very close to my heart. I have seen one of my father's friend. When he started his career, he would be about 26 years old, and he started as a cashier in a bank. He retired after almost 25-26 years of service as the branch manager. But there's one thing that was consistent in his life. What was that? One company, one job, one profession. He started with SBI. He started with the profession of banker. He grew in his career and ended in the same bank. That is the kind of consistency your generation have. A little bit my generation has. But the generation that we are seeing, the generation that we are dealing with, the generation we are teaching, do not have that kind of consistency. Do you think any kid that you are teaching will work for 25 years in one single job? No. 25 months is a big time. We are dealing with a generation that has attention span of less than 30 seconds. We are still dealing with a generation that is all about scrolling. We are dealing with a generation that is digital first. We are dealing with a generation that has much more knowledge of the world and what is happening in the world than what we have. And we are dealing with a generation who have access, or probably what we can say, open access to every single thing they want to know. So today, no topic is something that is exclusive to you. Maybe you're teaching geography, maybe you're teaching political science, maybe you're teaching biology, physics, chemistry, whatever. But tomorrow a student can go to YouTube and search about the Newton's third law, and they can have a world-class teacher, maybe from US, teaching the same thing. And the student can come back and question you, ma'am, this is what I've heard. This is what I've learned. That is exactly where all I say is that liberal education fits in. When a student is so dynamic, they need the education that is also that dynamic. Now, all of you have went to college just like I went to college, but what we have learned is that it is all about one subject, one specialization, and then we continue with our career. So probably we did undergraduate, we had few subjects. I did my graduation in commerce, and then I went for my management, I picked marketing, and then continued with my career. But today, if I see the demand of my profession, I cannot be just a marketing person to represent in front of you. I have to be a public speaker, I have to be a digital marketing person, I have to be a good manager, I have to have the marketing skills, I also have to have people skills, I have to have communication skills, I should be knowing how to create good PowerPoint presentation, I have to have research skills, and so much more to survive in a job that I am doing. Now that is the kind of demanding world we are living. And one more thing that is changing in today's world and today's student is something called gig economy. Now what do I mean by gig economy? The gig economy means that you are not for your survival depending on one job. If you see digital marketing, the kind of field digital marketing has come as a profession, people are working on gigs. That means I have to complete this film in 2 months and then probably I can take a break. Does your or my profession allow that? No. But today that is exactly what is happening. You see a lot of, so in your generation, we have not imagined Instagram or social media. For me, it was very early when I saw Facebook or Instagram. But I also never imagined that we would have something called content creator as a full-time profession. But today we have. I'm sure if you are using Instagram, you would be following some. And you are seeing their story every day that what do? We travel. What do you make money from? Somewhere. Some sponsorship, some content creation, some ads. Do you have a permanent job? No. Do you have a permanent house? No. Do you have a permanent life? No. You're surviving? Yes. That's what the world is changing. That's the dynamic world we are living in. And that is exactly where we also need dynamic education, which is called liberal education. Now, let us see what do we have in this session today. We'll be talking about the evolving role of teachers. We'll be talking about role of technology. What are the principles of liberal education? The global competencies that you require as a teacher. 10 key skills that I believe school should also teach apart from what you're teaching. The need for multi-skills education. And the last, but the most important part is that I have prepared some case studies for you. Do you have career counseling in your school? How many teachers are aware? So one is that 100% teachers should be aware about career counseling, but I always tell, with no offense to you ma'am, that career counseling should not be limited to one or two persons. Every teacher should understand the value of career counseling, because a student reaching to career counselor is through so many filters. Now, if the career counseling is happening from 9th onwards, then a student has to have cleared the filter of 5th, 6th, 7th, 8th to reach there. If it is happening from 11th onwards, then they have to clear the 5th to 10th filter. And then one person has so many people to handle. And that is why I want that every teacher should be enabled to understand the basics of career counseling, the basics of career guidance, because you are the guardian of these students. You are dealing with these students. I have dedicatedly prepared some case studies for you that I'll be giving to you after this session to understand the intricacies of how career counseling happens, and maybe you can help some students during your classes.